Well, as I'm joined by Tom Thornbury, the Associate Director of Sales here at Keeneland. We just saw a Smart Strike Colt go through for $325,000, hip number 257, and now hip number 258. Son of Medaglia d'Oro heading into the ring. And Tom, we've talked a lot about some of the sires. We've been talking about the freshman sires, but Medaglia d'Oro, one that a lot of people may be considering could be the one that maybe takes the torch from Stormcat as we see the last of the Stormcats go through, and with Rachel Alexandra certainly deserving.
Well, he's certainly off to a great start. In fact, beyond Rachel Alexandra, it's almost as though every time you have a Medaglia d'Oro show up, it shows up with running shoes on. It's incredible. The horse has been extremely successful in a very short period of time, and I think Darley took note of that, swooped in, kind of took the horse over to their stable. That tells you an awful lot right there. And
they've been very supportive of Medaglia d'Oro here at the sales so far. We're just shortly into the first session done, and now about almost getting halfway through the second session, coming up on that. And very supportive of that, but Darley, as always, and Sheikh Mohammed, supportive of this sale as well. And today, with having purchased a Medaglia d'Oro and then the $1 million horse so far, and just getting to the sales a little bit, the first $1 million horse today. Yesterday, we had $925,000. And I know a lot of people, sort of down the market, down 30% off, but it is indicative of our economic times as well. And do you think that maybe it helps the buyers get in a little bit more, the average buyers?
Well, I think yesterday we saw some domestic purchases for a significant amount of money. So yeah, there are American buyers who are playing at this level, but they're being cautious, I think, overall. And we'll see throughout this sale that today, for instance, we like to say it's taken legs. So as it picks up, goes farther in, I think you'll see a great deal more participation from American buyers.
Yeah, a lot more, it seems like, today of the horses, six-figure sellers going through there. But what about for some of the people? Keeneland has started a new process here at this sale called Key Bid.
That's
where
correct.
You can go online and just explain a little bit about that, because it's almost like a second chance. If you missed a horse and that horse did not meet its reserve, you sort of have another chance to go back in and maybe get this horse.
Precisely. Key Bid is what it's called. And you, as a prospective buyer, can go to Keeneland's website and you can bring up the summary sheet for yesterday's results, or today's as the sale goes along. You'll see a horse that did not reach its reserve, an RNA, and beside that will be a link that states submit a bid. You can click on that. You can bring up a screen that will put your name and all of the information in there. Then Keeneland will put you together with the seller, and you can make a proposal. The seller and the buyer then can perhaps negotiate a sale, a second opportunity.
Does Keeneland sort of act as like kind of like a real estate agent, sort of between the buyer, the consignor there a little bit?
Well, it is a private sale between the seller and the buyer, but Keeneland is more or less an agent to sort of negotiate, not really negotiate, but at least put the parties together. Then, if they so desire, they can bring their trade through our office, make the sale from an RNA to a sale in our office, at which point the seller is assured of the price he's selling it for, because Keeneland pays its consigners, and then we chase the money.
And what about so far? I mean, obviously it's only been one day to really kind of get a line on that, but what's the feedback been on Key Bid?
Well, yesterday we had almost a dozen actual bids submitted, and we put the bidders and the sellers together this morning, made certain that all of the telephone numbers and the emails were correct, and that everyone had everything in place. So everyone has the opportunity now to negotiate privately.
And I think also, when you think about that in this market that we're in right now, and the uncertainty, as you said, this way, if somebody maybe has waited a little bit towards the end of the sale for a horse and then didn't get that horse, but there was one earlier that they kind of liked as well, that was RNA, it gives them a chance to go back through you all, as you said, and to a horse that maybe they wouldn't have another chance to buy.
Exactly, and in the 12 cases that we had yesterday, the buyers were not here on the grounds. They were home at their offices and said,
I missed it.
I could have bought that horse for that price. Let me see if I can make a bid that'll maybe get it done. So That's the whole idea. Make a second opportunity to make a sale.
And with today's modern technology, there's no reason not to do something like that.
Exactly.
And another popular thing as far as keeping up with what's going on at the sales is the mobile.Keeneland as well, which you get much quicker updates and Twitter, everything going on here at Keeneland to keep people informed, and plus us here covering it as well.
This
for
is the best
HRTV.
part. This makes it personal. And we appreciate you all being here very much. So.
Well, we certainly enjoy being here, and a lot of activity. I know going on behind us right now. We have some horses standing on their hind legs, and this is actually my favorite place to be here because we get to see the activity before they actually head into the ring, and you kind of get an idea of some of the personalities on some of these characters.
Well, one of the interesting things about being back here is if you spot a horse back here as a potential buyer, you have nearly 30 minutes by the time you see this horse until it goes in the ring. That's enough time with the modern technology of digital X-rays on file in our repository. You have time to call your veterinarian and say, what do you think about the X-rays? He can pop them up, take a look. By the time the horse gets in the ring, you know what you're buying. So
what we're seeing right now in the ring, hip number 260, this a son of Stormcat. Of course, Stormcat, this is his last full crop going through the end of an era here at Keeneland. And this one a half to point given, and currently up there at 475 right now. And we've talked a lot about that. The end of the era was Stormcat, but there's always another horse to come along. We've seen one of his sons, Giants Causeway, having a lot of success here. A lot of the freshman sires, Bernardini, taking a lot of attention. So when one goes, another one comes along, and that one, the hammer goes down at 475 on hip number 260.
Well, I think we're all looking for the next now horse, and the one that takes over, picks up the mantle. I'm not sure that we've seen it yet. Those horses like Northern Dance or Danzig, Stormcat, Mr. Prospector, they had so much of an influence on this breed over the years, and it takes time to develop that. But I think the next crop's on its way.
One thing Kate and I have mentioned a little bit about too, as far as pedigrees go, it used to be so divided between turf pedigrees, and you always thought the Europeans spent a lot more of their time looking at turf pedigrees and then traditional dirt. Now with the influx of synthetic surface, that all kind of is almost melting pot now together. Everybody, it's not so specific to turf pedigree versus American pedigree.
The lines have been blurred a bit, I think, particularly in the influence of Sadler's Wells, whom El Prado has, for me, been the horse that sort of crossed over all of the lines from turf to dirt, short to long, just about the universal utility horse. And there are a number of horses now that fill that bill.
Yeah, what used to be more of a black and white situation now, as you said, has become a lot more blurrier, but blurrier in a good way.
Yeah.
And that way it makes it horses that are available to everybody. And that's another thing about this sale that is so unique, is there is a horse for every person in here at all levels.
Absolutely. That's the best part about it. It's the marketplace. It's the world's marketplace, too. I mean, we have buyers here today, and yesterday we saw a number of Russian buyers signing up for horses, and same today. We'll see influence from Australia, from Europe, of course, Japan. I think we'll see some influence later from the Latin American countries, and we'll see perhaps some buying interest from India, from South Korea. Keeneland sells to about 48 different countries of the 60 countries that race. So this is where they all come to buy the horses.
And buy the horses that will be filling all our races around the country at all our various racetracks. So we thank Tom for all of your time here in Keeneland as well. And we'll let you go because I know you're very busy, and keep up the good work there with Bid and everything else.
Thank you very much.